Every single day, we work hard to provide meals to those in need. In our community, too many people face hunger and uncertainty, but you have the power to change that. Your generosity can transform lives. Provide a meal, be the hope.
Hey, good morning, Facebook. It's Tuesday. I want to welcome you to our podcast. My name is Jason. I'm the CEO of the Modesto Gospel Mission. And with me, I have Mr. Greg Myers. Greg Myers oversees an amazing program that we're going to discuss called HopeWorks. Greg, thank you for being on the show.
Oh, happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're out and about in the community, you're going to see this amazing program throughout the city of Modesto. I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of Hope Works, and then I'm going to ask Greg some questions about how the program is going, how the program processes, how actually, if somebody walks through the door, how long it takes them to kind of get through the channels of being out on the crew. And then we're just going to have a discussion on how everything's going. So Hope Works, believe it or not, if you remember, if you're from Modesto and from the area, there used to be what was called the Downtown Streets team. And the Downtown Streets team in 2018, they came into the community and they were an amazing program, basically, that had groups of individuals working throughout downtown and Modesto picking up litter abatement. And I would say at the end of 2025, uh, at right around October, November, basically they ended up dissolving in 16 counties. And that is when the city of Modesto came to us and they were saying, how would you guys, in United Way, how would you guys like to be able to try to figure out a way to run the downtown street team? And that's when the team got together, myself and a few of my team, and said, well, how can we do this? And then we found a creative way to do the downtown streets team model called HopeWorks here in Modesto. So, Greg, how's it going? How many members right now are a part of HopeWorks?
We have 49 active clients.
49 individuals. So can you imagine? So we launched this October, November, kind of brought when did you start, Greg?
November.
November, Greg started. So we get this program. It has to basically be launched from the ground. We have a little model of the Downtown Streets team that we worked with Megan, who works now with the city of Modesto. She was a program manager for Hope for the Downtown Streets team. So she helped us kind of with some of their model but we had to kind of find a creative way. One of those creative ways that we had to find that was that we had to pay these individuals minimum wage because that was kind of the law, basically. And so we had to find a way to do that. And kind of there's what's called workman's comp and insurance and all those things. So Greg said there's 49 individuals. We didn't actually launch boots on the ground. When did we launch our first crew?
January 12th.
January 12th, and today is what, August the 3rd?
Yep.
August the 3rd, and we already have 49 people enrolled in this program.
Started out with 2 crews, now have 6.
Yeah. So we started out with what, 16 people or?
Yep.
Yeah, 16 people January 12th, and we've scaled it to close to 50 individuals currently now. Tell me, like, from the beginning, when somebody walks through the doors, what do they like experience? The first person that they talk to, or what's the process look like, Greg?
Um, Oftentimes, yeah, they'll knock, even though it says welcome, come on in, and we'll greet them, case manager, anybody who's available if they're not currently with the client, and say, are you interested in HopeWorks? And they are. And one of our first questions is like, yeah, where are you staying nowadays?
Yeah.
Because we got to figure out if they're truly unhoused. There's some specific
Oh,
definitions
that's
for
right.
it.
Yes. So that's a good point. So in order to qualify for this program, they have to be unhoused. They do not have to be a client of the Modesto Gospel Mission.
No.
Would you say many that you have are not clients of ours, or what do you think the ratio of that is?
I think it's equal parts Salvation
Okay.
Army, some from the Gospel Mission,
Yeah.
others that live in their cars,
Okay.
that are in the area.
Yeah, so we have kind of a very categorized of individuals that do shelter with us, that we do provide services, but many are also from other parts of the community.
Dignity, Dignity Village, Grace
Okay. Yeah.
Gardens. some respite houses,
Yeah.
places that are emergency shelters. So we've got a mix now, but the primary folks are Salvation Army, which might be even a little bit ahead of the gospel mission.
Okay, yeah. So that just shows you the collaboration of this program really isn't necessarily like you have to be a part of the Modesto Gospel Mission. No, HopeWorks is the Modesto Gospel Mission. What our strategy is, the reason why we, myself and my board wanted to do this was the fact that this is really good for the individuals of this community that are unhoused and how we can better serve this community as a whole. So when you mention Dignity Village and Grace Gardens, I just want everybody to understand those are what's called tiny home villages that you'll see really in Ninth and D. You will see those tiny homes villages. The Dignity Village is one, and then we run one also called Grace Garden. It's 12 units. Super amazing. These little tiny homes, like pallet homes individuals live in. So many times, these individuals that come through, they qualify for like a Grace Gardens and those types of tiny homes too. As an extension for us, it's an extension of our emergency shelter capacity. 49 individuals. How many hours do they work a week?
Anywhere between 10 and 15 hours a week.
And they get paid minimum wage, correct?
Correct. $16.90
Yeah.
an
And then
hour.
who do we work with? Do we work with temp agencies?
We work with two temp agencies. They're the ones that actually onboard our clients. And that, like Jason said, they're the official employer. It's just their first assignment is with HopeWorks. They handle they pay. We submit timesheets. They cut all the checks, and they handle the workman comp issues that we might have, and uh, and any employee issues too, because these clients are an employee with
Yeah.
them, so they have their own employee handbook, and we at HopeWorks have one as well. Well,
Talk about the so you know the question that I had given you is if they get paid a minimum wage. That's amazing. We have 49 individuals, 49 souls, 49 men, women from all different types of services in and around the valley,
sure.
whether it be the Salvation Army, the Gospel Mission, probably Center for Human Services, some youth over there,
Yep.
Grace Garden, all these places. So they're coming from all over the places and they're working 10 to 15 hours, getting paid minimum wage. That's amazing. I mean, when you really think
Yep.
about it, Greg, and you think about like what we're trying to accomplish here as a ministry, and it's really not just to warehouse people, but it's really to enable them, to transform them, to share the gospel, but also to get them back in the routine of workforce.
Yeah.
Have you seen that being accomplished at HopeWorks?
Very much so. Yeah, we have folks that show up, and one of the key things is those essential documents you need to get hired, like your ID, Social Security card, and we look down the road even with getting them a birth certificate too, because that's essential for
Mhm.
housing.
Yeah,
But oftentimes they're missing one of those elements. So during an intake, the first thing we might do is help them schedule an appointment for that Social Security card. So it kind of syncs up about the time they would get on board, and we'd have everything needed to onboard them with a temp agency. But yeah, there's folks that, I mean, that slide from losing a job and then not
yeah,
able to pay rent, and you slide to your car, and
yeah, yeah. I mean,
we've have some folks that can happen in just months in some
yeah.
cases. So
Yeah, I can tell you from my experience, homelessness in itself has its own like teeth to keep you down.
yeah,
It's very tough when you're on the streets. My story is a little different than some, but my story was driven because of addiction. And that was what the vice was holding me down. But we hear stories of all different types of reasons, you know. So with Hope Works, it's really powering what the name is. Oh,
yep.
you know, and you're kind of seeing that. Greg, give me a story of Hope Works, somebody that just stands out that's been through the program.
Well, it's kind of a story that's still in progress, and
Okay, you know, that's
we're going to talk about Wardell,
yeah, yeah. Tell me
and
about him.
he came in with not a document to his name,
Okay.
and he was just a client who did everything we asked of him, and there was even some technology barriers, but he worked through that.
Yeah.
People have to have a working phone and an email in order to be able to send documents by the
And he
onboarding
had
office.
none of that
He had
stuff.
none of it, no.
Yeah, that was
So
like me. I had none of that. I didn't have a phone, I had nothing. I
he
don't,
he went to the
yeah.
DMV with a voucher, got his ID.
Yeah.
When his Social Security appointment came up, handled that, brought back the slip so that we can, because some of our temp agencies can act with that slip that says it's in the mail, basically.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's good.
he was onboarded,
Yeah.
worked with us for a number of months. He was a person that spent some time in Grace Gardens.
Okay.
He was there for a bit,
Yeah.
and then was able to save up enough money to move into an apartment.
Okay.
Safety Network came in, a lead from one of your chaplains,
Yeah.
of which we've had a few people hired there,
Yeah.
and got on there. He happened to have his he hadn't had his driver's license in a long time, but he'd driven for like
Yeah.
30 plus years. He just needed to reactivate it, and he ended up driving a box truck with them and working with them for quite some time.
Okay. Yeah. What an amazing story. So when you say we, who are we in your team?
We have two case managers, Brandy and Frankie, and our driver slash foreman, Steven.
So yeah, so when you think about HopeWorks, it's an expansion of wraparound service provider. So it's not just like, hey, you're going to come through the HopeWorks, you're going to go through the orientation, we're going to get you connected to a temp agency, we're going to pay you every week. There is an extensive process. What does Brandy and Frankie do with these individuals on a case management basis? They help with what?
Um, well, they both onboard clients, but Frankie handles most of our team. She's the one that does a lot of the onboarding, or does
Okay.
all the onboarding for that matter. She's
Okay.
constantly communicating with express professionals and BBSI downtown here, and
So she's
marketing.
she's the buffer between the agencies and the
Exactly.
HopeWorks and the people. Okay.
And one of those agencies works in paper space, and the other one's on phone. So we can gauge people's
Yeah, got it. So
technical
she's kind of
abilities.
advocating. She's like the advocator of
Yeah,
those people with these temp agencies.
and
Pretty cool.
helping them march through that process
Yeah.
because
We all need an advocator. Like we have Jesus. He advocates on our behalf.
yeah,
And that's the point of being the hands and feet of Jesus is Frankie and Brandy are kind of the advocator. They're sitting
right.
there in their corner, cheering them on. They're in this process, correct?
Correct. Yep. And the clients are dispersed roughly equally between them. So they've got a full caseload of
Yeah.
25, nearly 25 clients apiece,
Yeah. It's
along with the onboarding process, along
it's a
with
joke.
managing
Yeah,
the
that's that.
30,
Yeah.
60, 90-day
Uh-huh.
check-ins.
Yep. How long is the program? HopeWorks program?
It's a 6-month program,
6 month program.
but we look at people where they're at in the
Yeah.
program, and if they're close to a breakthrough, or we have held some people longer
Okay.
for various
Yeah.
reasons when we know that they have a position that's coming available to them, or housing is on the verge of a breakthrough in that area. So
Yeah.
we people that are actively, working hard towards their goals, we give them longer if possible.
Yeah, that's amazing. We've kind of talked about the bones of the program. Then we're going to roll into some of like the territories and the abatement that we're doing. But the bones of the program, we launched it January 12th, was the very first crew. There was, 16 people. We now currently in August have 49 people. How many people have been placed in other type of employment so far since the launch of the program?
We have 10.
10. That is success. Trust me. We talk about statistical numbers and we want the biggest percent, but when you're dealing with clients that really 10 is an amazing number. How many placed in housing?
Seven in permanent housing,
That
and an additional seven in transitional
Yeah, that
housing.
is amazing. 14 individuals went from living in their car, living in the shelters, to having housing. 10 individuals have rolled out from this being the first foundation of work reentry into other type of employment. And we're just starting. I mean, when you say we're
That's
just
right.
getting our feet wet, basically.
Yep. And we're most recently we've started interacting with some of the businesses here locally, and telling them about, I mean, it's if you're just hiring people off the street, if we can say
Yeah,
this person's been with us for 6 months, they regularly attended, they were a hard worker, and motivated and want to change their situation, we're seeing that some of the hiring managers at some of the fast food and places around here are willing, they're interested in giving
yeah,
them a shot, because you don't often get that 6 month. You can look at what's on paper, but
yeah.
if we can vouch for them and give them a letter of recommendation if they've really showed up,
Yeah, absolutely. I
you
want to
know,
pause there and say, like, if you're out there and you own a business, and I know from hiring people, we're always looking for good people, people you can trust. Let us know. Get a hold of Greg. Your email is what?
Greg at hopeworksmodesto.org.
.org. Let us know if you have employment opportunities. Let us know if you have an apartment, you have a studio, you have mother-in-law quarters that you're renting out. Let us know these opportunities because this is how you as a community can and get engaged with HopeWorks on a daily basis is we need opportunities for these individuals to go into. So if you're working for a corporation that's looking for people, let us know. Reach out to myself or Greg and let us us know how we can partner together to really change lives. So, HopeWorks, as we talked about the program internally, Randy, Frankie, Steven, the driver. So, Steven goes out, drops him
Yep.
off. He kind of supervises crews. But where in Modesto are these crews going?
Uh, well, all and only in the cities of Modesto, but all the major thoroughfares, Briggsmore, Stanford, Sylvan, Sisk, McHenry, Tully, College. We've just crisscrossed this place, and our walking crews that leave from here have totally blanketed the La Loma area and on the west side as well. And we still have those original 16 routes that the city of Modesto had that predominantly hit the west side that
Yeah.
Downtown Streets team did, so we can pull those out. But the city gives us a monthly calendar
Okay.
with targeted areas each day.
So the cool thing about this program, it's uniform in collaboration, meaning the Parks and Recs department through the city of Modesto sends us a list. So everybody in the city limit of Modesto can have this Go app, basically, Go Modesto app or whatever. It's something like that. I have it on my phone. And you can go on that app, and if there's litter or there's trash, you can take a picture and send it to the city of Modesto. It's super interactive. It's super cool. I've done it myself. And you can say, hey, there's this, and you can send it. Well, the city coordinates with us, HopeWorks, to then give us a list of places to go. Some of them are downtown. Basically, to sum up where we go, everywhere in Modesto.
Yep.
It's super cool. Down McHenry, on Pellendale, we are covering the whole thing. So I say before we go on to some of the statistics of how much trash we're picking up and kind of the scope of work, we are scouring all of Modesto. If you see individuals that have blue little like vest on, that is HopeWorks. Honk your horn, wave at them. They would appreciate that. But I just want you to know that is the gospel mission, the city of Modesto, United Way in action, collaboration, making this city better and doing what? Picking up litter.
Yep.
How much litter?
Well, since we started, we've eclipsed 63,000 pounds.
Hold on here. 63,000 pounds of trash.
30 tons.
30 tons. We know Greg's good with numbers because
Yeah.
he's translating pounds to tons because I can't even do that. So, I mean, that's 6, 7 months, and that is a lot of trash.
Yeah.
And we have, people that hate litter in this neighborhood, in the community, like don't litter, but that is amazing. What else like trash, but what else is the crew doing too?
Yeah. Well, we've about midway through our program, the city moved us into weeding as well. So
So we're
all,
gardeners too.
yep. Well, all those cutouts in the sidewalks that
Yeah.
have a city
Uh-huh.
tree, we take the suckers off the base of those and any weeds, and then just weeds that are growing up in the cracks
Yeah.
of the sidewalks. So we've made some drastic changes, and along the sides of roads and even overpasses at Briggsmore and
Yeah.
Stanford. There's plenty of weeds growing there, but we'll pull them back a couple feet from the edge of the sidewalk because they just encroach and grow right
So
down on
what's the
everything.
one area that has the most litter in this city?
Well, unfortunately, it's the Yosemite corridor.
Hey, Yosemite Boulevard people, quit littering on Yosemite Corridor. It has a lot of litter. Quit littering. Throw your trash in trash
Yeah,
receptacles and not out your window.
yeah,
Is that a statement for the people?
sure. And our sense of satisfaction sometimes is short-lived. We can make a full trip down Briggsmore from the Amtrak station over the course of 2.5 days out to the Carpenter
Okay,
Overpass.
hold on here. That's a long ways.
Yeah, and that's
Hold on, we got to stop here. That's
that's five
Carpenter over
5 miles, I
the
think.
worst overpass in Modesto. I just want to call that out. Oh my gosh, that is a traffic nightmare, engineering flaw of an overpass. But like all the way to the Amtrak station
Yeah,
in how many days?
about 2.5. If
That
that's
is covering some first century Jesus territory right there on Galilee, going across the map right
and
there.
we're not we're following a
Cool.
canal, so we're on both sides of the canal, one road edge and then the other road edge. So and that's the way you can we catch it
Like
all. It's a wide swath,
yeah, 2.5 days
and
from
we've
the
we've done Briggsmore probably 6 times already.
man.
And unfortunately, I mean, I think the first time we did it, we had 1,800 pounds of trash.
Okay,
And then it
18.
dropped to about 800, but we can consistently find 500 to 600 pounds of trash every time we go down it.
So we have a lot of people that litter in this city.
Yeah, it probably blows out of people's vehicles, and then there's
You're being nice.
yeah, but Steven, our driver, he's locked in because those kind of things just catch our eyes now. It's like
Yeah.
we got to get back here. We got to
Yeah,
get over.
no, I think that's a good point is recognizing like 1,800 pounds the first trip.
Yeah,
And then concurrently, you're seeing 800 pounds. Well, that's a deficit. I mean, that's like almost less than half. So you're making a dent, but it's not solving the problem, right? So
no,
we need education. Do not litter. That's the only educational piece I can give you is do not litter. But that just shows you like how big of a litter problem this community. And it's not just Modesto. Trust me, litter is everywhere. You go through any city, and they all have litter.
yeah, and we have a lot of people feeding in. Even the MPD, I've communicated with some folks there because they cover all the territory. They see it, and now they have a way to feed in right to the city of Modesto, which then gets back to us.
Yeah, I mean, there's
The eyes and
several.
ears are out there for us to
Yeah,
find it.
there's a you mentioned something that's pretty important. The police department has like a litter abatement team
Right,
nested in that we are beginning to then have a traction to partner and have slots of openings too. I wanted to mention that because then they have like encampments. They go into a bigger scale,
right.
and so they have openings. So they've opened up that opportunity
For HopeWorks
for
clients,
HopeWorks clients to be able to have full-time employment or close to full-time employment through the police department.
and maybe even with Domo as well.
And then downtown Modesto is a collaboration of businesses that fund, I think Domo, I could be getting this wrong, but then they predominantly do downtown. And what Greg has done is he kind of communicates through all these channels to make sure that we're all working together.
Yep.
You could say that correctly. And the city is letting us know. So this is a big issue that the city, the Hope Works. I mean, it's not just litter. It's really we're transforming lives. We as much as I like to say I'm advocating to pick up litter, I'm not. I like a clean city. I'm born and
Sure.
raised in Modesto. My passion for this is individuals and the stories of transformation, and we get to do something that's also beautifying our city. Super important.
Right.
So we talked about 2.5 days. I still am stunned by that.
Yeah, the city might
It's-
block Briggsmore out for the week,
yeah,
but
it's
when you have
crazy.
we have two crews on it
Two
each
crews,
day.
yeah, each day. Yeah.
We have three crews going out at 8, 9,
Got
and 10.
got
But
yeah.
the
So, yeah, so how does that work throughout the day? Like, your first crew, what time does that crew start?
they show up here a little before 8, and we're on the road by 8:10.
8 o'clock, and
So
then
we just deposit them. We just deposit that crew on Briggsmore at the Amtrak station.
okay, and then they walk this
They'll
way.
probably get to Oakdale the first day.
Wow,
So that's a long stretch
that
because
is.
one Lakewood's the only stop. Well, the
Okay,
the
yeah,
Rocket there at Claus, and then
got it, yeah,
Lakewood where they have a couple of restroom stops,
okay.
but we'll have to hit them up with some hydration, I'm sure, along the way.
Yeah, no, and then how many crews do you send out a day?
Uh, three typically, except
3
for on every other Friday. There's two,
okay, there are 3 crews a day,
8,
uh,
9, and 10.
8, 9, and 10,
They work 5-hour shifts.
yeah. So that's logistically logistical. You have to like figure all this out. Then you have walking crews too
They leave from here.
from
Yep,
leave from
two of them.
here, 2 of them, to keep a team of 49 individuals busy.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, it's six crews of 8, but we have an extra person right now.
Yeah.
But we work that in.
And then so like speak to me as we land the plane of this podcast. Like what it hope works for you. What have you seen to be the most satisfying thing in ministry as this is, the gospel mission is ministry focused. What do you think that you've seen in the people that we're serving that's part of Hope Works? What do you think has been the most satisfying thing for you?
Let's see here. Well, I think, well, you see these people come alive. Many of them have a lot of skills.
See, Greg was reading my mind because he
They,
said coming alive, and you see that just the hope that their eye, just the light come on, and that's the cool thing. So go ahead,
yeah,
finish.
I mean, everybody has a vest with a name
Yeah,
tag.
yeah.
We know them all by name, and we get to know a little bit of their history as well, and their work experience. So we're actively thinking, oh, he'd be a great fit if we could only find somebody that needed these type of skills, and we're
You
helping
think
them with
that vest and
resumes.
that name badge brings, like self-esteem
I think so, yeah, and confidence.
and confidence? I remember, real fast. I remember having when I came into the New Life program in 2007. I had a name badge with my picture on it. I wore that everywhere, even to church. I didn't care. I wore it to church. I went to First Baptist Cross Point on Needham at that point, and I would wear it to church.
Well, we generate a pretty good. I mean, there's a sense of community within HopeWorks. Of course, all the crews individually know each other,
Man, that's such a
and then we
powerful
we
statement.
have quarterly celebrations where
Yeah.
we celebrate accomplishments. So that's a chance where the whole group gets together. Oftentimes at a little normal park.
Do you feed them?
We do.
What do you feed them?
We had hamburgers the first time with fruit and
Ooh,
chips, and then
shit.
this. What did we do this? Oh, we had pizza. We had Costco pizza, but again with sides and stuff. So
Dude.
we bring games.
Yeah, so
And
he's since as we close out and we talk about HopeWorks, I want to thank the community. I want to thank the city of Modesto. I want to thank Greg for coming on for really from the beginning. His expertise in safety and compliance has been beneficial to HopeWorks. But he mentioned community, and one thing that all of us need is community. When you don't have community, you lose identity
right,
because we were created to be in community together. And what happens when you're in a sense of homelessness, you lose that identity and seclusion. And you mentioned it that Hope Works is really about bringing community of people back together to do life together.
yep.
And I think that's a powerful statement. I want to thank everybody that's watching this podcast. And again, if you see these individuals in the blue vest, honk your horn,
Yep.
say hi. And again, you can learn more at what's the website?
HopeWorksModesto.org.
.org. God bless you guys. Have a good Tuesday.